Both Grant Gustin and Ezra Miller have excelled as the Flash, but where does one trump the other in their portrayal of DC's beloved Scarlet Speedster? There have been two live-action versions of DC's The Flash active over the last decade, with Grant Gustin portraying the hero in the Flash CW series, while Ezra Miller has the role in the DC Extended Universe and reprised the role in the superhero's solo film. With both characters having met on screen by now, it's worth taking a look into which version might just be the best. Both have their own strengths that allow them to pip the other in certain areas. Due to this, pointing out the high marks in either superhero's characterizations gives way to understand where they excel and where they're lacking, and we leave it up to the DC Universe to decide. But before we dive in, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more similar content. Let's dive in. Ezra Miller. He's funnier. The defining quality of DCEU's Barry Allen has been his penchant for comedy, shown to possess a mouth that never stops talking. This version refuses to take things seriously due to his innate sadness at losing his mother and his father's imprisonment. This manifests in a mixture of slapstick comedy and one-liners that fans have reacted positively toward. Grant Gustin's Flash has been good in the comedy department as well, but his humorous aspect was greater in earlier seasons to portray his immaturity at the time. Over time, he's become a more serious individual, with his comedic level toned down. Grant Gustin, his emotional depth. The benefit of the CW's Flash having an extended run in his character development, with Barry getting genuinely touching arcs involving his parents, his friends, and everything in between. This development has been shown in little things, where Barry's formerly boyish mentality has now paved the way for wisdom. To his credit, the DCEU Flash has also been established with an emotional arc relating to his father's imprisonment, as Barry's wanted desperately to have him released. However, this aspect wasn't given as much depth as it could have been, making the focal point about Miller's Flash his comedic value. Ezra Miller, imaginative characterization. All things considered, it's Grant Gustin's Flash who is more comic accurate, as he is faithful toward the personality that Barry Allen traditionally has. However, Miller's Flash deserves credit for being an imaginative incarnation, having shades of Wally West's attitude along with new personality traits not traditionally seen in Barry. This includes his tendency to go off on a tangent when excited, harboring deep-seated sadness, and looking for inspiration rather than mentor figures. For this reason, Ezra Miller's version is less predictable, and that brings a certain excitement towards what's in store for the superhero. Grant Gustin, romantic potential. In defense of DCEU's Flash, he only got a split second's worth of romance with Iris West in Zack Snyder's Justice League, although it's clear he's not much of a romantic figure. This Flash's main concern is his need to be liked and included, rather than looking for stability and love. On the other hand, the CW Flash is a passionate individual who sought love because it would make him happy. For this Barry Allen, being in love was something he craved, and his feelings for Iris are such that he's synonymous with her, as fans think of the couple when thinking of the CW's Flash. His mannerisms and attitude as a romantic figure make him out to be a true gentleman and endearing person. Ezra Miller, better presentation of powers. Despite having been on screen for almost a decade, Grant Gustin's Flash has lacked that wow factor needed to fill up highlight reels. His version has largely relied on the Flash's running skills, with only the occasional creativity coming in where his powers are concerned. Ezra Miller's version didn't have that much variety either, but watching these powers in action was definitely fun. DCEU's Flash having that electrical surge in motion when activating his abilities is a thing of beauty, and his overall presentation during these sequences is definitely a great way to keep audiences hooked through visual appeal. Grant Gustin, chemistry with supporting characters. Whether it's with his allies or the powerful villains in The Flash, Grant Gustin's version has had a solid dynamic with supporting characters. He's had bonds with the likes of his team along with other superheroes like Green Arrow and Supergirl, having moments of sadness, happiness, and conflict with all of them. This has worked for so long due to the dynamic that is formed here, such as Barry having a mentor-protege relationship with Oliver and his friendship with Cisco. In Ezra Miller's case, the DCEU Flash didn't have much to do with Aquaman and Superman, with interactions with the others also limited to him just cracking jokes. Ezra Miller, bigger grand-scale moments. Grant Gustin's Flash went through the entire scenario with the Anti-Monitor and the Crisis on Infinite Earths, yet he didn't have the biggest epic moments to himself. Instead, he was a supporting hero in the large-scale conflicts, giving the reins over to Green Arrow or Supergirl for major feats. DCEU Flash got that moment in Zack Snyder's Justice League, where he turned back time to save the world from destruction. This scene stressed the fact that he was special, as Barry was the only one with the power to stop Steppenwolf's plan. He also had a show-stealing cameo in Suicide Squad, knocking back Captain Boomerang for one of the highlights of the movie. Grant Gustin, his Everyman persona. The general personality of the CW version is such that he's just a good guy to be around, being supportive to his friends, a worthy son, both a fine leader and student, and an all-around model person who fits in every situation. However, he isn't a one-trick pony, as Barry has even acted villainous given the change of circumstances. Ezra Miller's version has acted like a younger brother figure, in that he's always excited, not altogether serious, and most wouldn't think of him as a shoulder to cry on. While there will definitely be character development here, this Barry Allen just doesn't have the everyman personality where he'll fit in any circle. Ezra Miller, he has the better suit. When the two characters met during Crisis on Infinite Earths, Grant Gustin's Flash admitted that Ezra Miller's version had an extremely cool suit compared to his. This was a reference to how Gustin's suit is made for comfort, but Miller's is the one that seems grand in design. This one truly captures the Scarlet Speedster's velocity, making the character look like the representation of a thunderbolt come to life. Grant Gustin's suit isn't bad, but it is reminiscent of what cosplayers generally put on, whereas Ezra Miller's suit just seems one of a kind. Grant Gustin, his running stance. This is a vital part of what makes the Flash come alive, and nailing this down allows the image of the superhero to remain in memory. The CW's Flash easily has this in his favor, possessing the kind of stance that gives the impression that he's moving faster than anything else, along with having a look of intent. Ezra Miller's Flash has largely been criticized for the running stance that has been all over the place, with little to no awareness of surroundings and just a lot of flailing of the arms. Although DCEU's Flash has better effects around him during this stance, it's the CW Flash who appears to be running at extreme speeds. It is still hard to seriously compare Grant Gustin's Flash to Ezra Miller's. Beyond being more experienced, having been the Flash for nearly a decade at this point, the Earth Prime Barry Allen has a long list of impressive accomplishments. These range from running fast enough to survive the interior of a black hole for over 30 seconds to building a new speed force. While both versions of the Flash may be comparable in their raw power levels, the Grant Gustin Barry Allen appears to be more powerful in terms of practical experience. Whose side are you on? Let us know in the comments below. That was all from us today. See you in the next one.